Namaste. Good evening to everyone. A warm welcome to Prana, the blissful world. The bliss is the eternal happiness, a undisturbed happiness. And through our life, we are through Prana, we are attaining the undisturbed happiness. Prana is a voluntary initiative to encourage everyone to lead a healthy life and a happy life. Through yoga, yoga is the finest way to connect people around the world. Through Prana, we are aiming to spread the awareness of health, a holistic way of living, physical, mental, spiritual, and all ways of well-being in harmony with nature. In the present norm of pandemic, we are aiming to spread the celebration of Prana, the International Yoga Day celebration 2021 through our Facebook and Instagram page. Please join our Facebook page Prana and Instagram page Prana and be part of this noble task of spreading happiness to everyone. Today, our our Guru is going to share is stay in love, stay in peace with yourself. Before going into the topic, I like to invite Suraj for prayer. Please welcome Suraj for prayer.
Namaste. Samgachatvam samvadatvam samvo manamsi janata deva bhagam yatha purve samjananamupasate. May you move in harmony. Speak in one voice. Let your minds be in agreement, just as the ancient gods shared their portion of sacrifice.
Thank you, Suraj, for the gracious prayer. Now it's time to invite our guest. It's my very great pleasure to invite our chief guest, Dr. Preeti Sambalwal, a medical turned into management professional, an internationally awarded HR expert with more than 10 years of experience in HR with NTPC. It's India's largest power producer and Forbes 2000 company. She's the recipient of prestigious TAS Icon Award for 2020. Is the among top 50 influential persons in Oman and who can make a difference. She's passionate about coaching, mentoring, public speaking, writing, and dealing with the entire gamut of HR practice. Dr. Preeti is a proficient orator, mentor, and a speaker with a strong presence in areas such as communication and with a strong presence in the areas such as communication, presentation skill, public speaking, leadership, stress management, motivation, and many more. It's really interesting, Dr. Preeti. You are here with us to share your knowledge. She is a guest faculty and speaker in reputed management institution of Oman as well as Delhi and NCR region. She is columnist and many newspapers and related platforms in Oman. And she's gold medalist and batch topper from prestigious Indian Society of Training and Development, a qualified UGC JRF NET professional, gold medalist in MBA, proficient Toastmaster at Toastmasters International and recipient of many accolades. Knowledge ambassador at Knowledge Oman in Oman, a self-motivated, highly optimistic, avid at multitasking individual, and believe in welcoming change and adapting in life. To further her interest and passion for learning and knowledge sharing, she is presently pursuing a PhD in the area of organizational change management. She is a strong believer in knowledge sharing and believes that if it benefits even one person, that shall be giving back to the society what she gained all these years. She'll be sharing the topic work-life balance. That's very, very important topic in our day-to-day life. Just physical health and mental health is not just a healthy way. For our peace, prosperity, for happiness, so many other factors are also affecting, contributing us. There are different dimensions like physical, intellectual, emotional, or social, occupational, or financial. All these factors together, combined together, a happy life is balancing. So we will ask Dr. PD how to balance all these things, work life and family life, all these together, how to balance and go in a peaceful way. Please, Doctor, welcome to our Prana.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pratibha. Am I audible and visible to everyone? I hope.
Is it all?
Am I audible and visible to
Yes,
everyone?
yes, yes.
Oh.
Please.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Pratibha.
It's audible, Doctor. You
Namaste
can.
to everyone. Namaste to everyone. Dr. Pratibha, that's so kind of you to give just such a generous introduction of mine and laying the backdrop of the next talk I'm going to share. It's an honor for me, first of all, to be sharing this platform with one of the largest yoga fraternity which is the growing one. And it gives me immense happiness to see that this community is inculcating open discussions on yoga, and it promotes the idea of yoga, which is a very vast and ancient science, and which is going to be for a wider reach. And my best wishes to all on the occasion of 7th International Day of Yoga. And thank you once again for having me here. So I'm going to share something very close to my heart, which is the idea of work-life balance. So imagine you're standing on one leg and you're putting all your weight onto that one leg. What happens after some time? It starts to ache. The body pain develops, the muscles start aching. Now the body balance comes into picture. Eventually, with this prolonged fatigue, there is a weakness, which because you've been trying to balance all of your weight onto one leg. It is something very similar which is happening in our lives these days. So between working, parenting, running the errands, the socializing, this pandemic especially has significantly altered the way we live our lives, the way we connect, the way we work, the way we communicate, and the way we relate with each other. Almost, although most of us have adapted, or I must say, adjusted to the newer normal, but it has somewhere left us feeling burnt out, overworked, and definitely stressed. And we need to have this fine balance in our lives because of all this. So pandemic or no pandemic, eventually it is very important to create boundaries between the professional and the personal life. Even though world over countries are opening up, there may be more of hybrid working models of working. People may be working full time, people may be working from home, or hybrid or a mixed kind of a model. Still, the newer norms like social distancing and remote working are a concern for many of us still. I'll just like to share a small survey report which was recently done. It indicated that the feeling that we are still, we are fortunate to be still in work, and there is a fear of constant surveillance, has made people, work more harder, and even for longer duration, which has in a way led to collapse of work-life boundaries, especially the sandwich generation, which we call as the ones who are managing the child care and caring for the older relatives at the same time at home, especially with respect to the women. They seem to be having a hard time, especially the women, like I said. This has been, the figures which for this survey stand as high as 71% of number of people who feel that this has affected them big time. Now, the reason behind is that at work, we used to have a dedicated space. We used to have a dedicated workspace. There was a cubicle, there was or maybe a simple desk or table. We knew that where our tools were, where our equipment was, where the stationery is kept, where other paraphernalia was. Now, with remote setup and maybe in fact more with flexi options. We do not have access to everything that used to be there very comfortably for us, because of the simple fact that there is a possibility that the same desk or the table or the chair or the whole small setup which we've made at home is going to be used after once you're finished. Is going to be used probably by your child for a yoga class, maybe for a music class, maybe for a piano class, maybe for a dance class, and many people might be using the same setup. So that hampers the convenience and privacy which used to give us, the comfort it used to give us earlier. Also to mention that the office furniture, which used to be, it's actually ergonomically, we call it ergonomically designed, and which is suitable to working in an office setup only. Now this is probably missing at home. So, in the coming times, there are chances that we may consider buying a furniture which is appropriate and flexible, and something called as something, maybe a desk or a chair, which perhaps can be adjusted for different heights, suiting to the different individuals of the same family probably. And here comes the roles of the organizations comes into picture. The organizations can always they can consider providing either the complete setup to their employees, or their or to set up that at their workplace, or maybe also consider providing them with probably discount options or the vouchers, or basically easier buying and claiming options of such furniture or the setup. Also, I would like to mention here that there are distractions at home, such as young children, even though everyone is around, but I would say that, there is a feeling of loneliness, because we do miss out on, walking through a corridor and talking to the co-worker, which you may encounter on the way while you're taking up a coffee, you're taking a small short break, and that all is missing now. And when we finish our work, let's say we finish our work at 5 to 6 in the evening, we get up from the chair, we put up all the stuff inside the drawer, lock the drawer, get up from the chair, walk towards the office door, lock the office door, go towards the car, walk towards the car, reach the car, sit inside the car, start driving it, and all the way back to the home, that duration of maybe 5 minutes, 15 minutes, or 1 hour. This time was basically aiding in unwinding. And it used to be a break from the activity which we were doing just probably 5 minutes or an hour back. And that used to be actually the break time where the mind used to tell, basically the body used to tell the mind that it is time to reorient, it is the time to readjust yourself. And then the body knew that you've reached home and the whole shift has to take place. Now that's not happening. Many places still it is not happening, because we are at the same location. A very classic example I'll share with you. When most of us, we all go to kitchen to cook and do a lot of work there. We enter the kitchen to cook and leave the kitchen after cooking. You can imagine and you can visualize the kind, how the mind and the body behaves at that time. So this is that's what I'm trying to put across, that this is the relevance of having a balance in our day-to-day work lives. So you have to have that cut, you have to have a demarcation. So as Dr. Pratibha, you asked what can be done. So I'm not going to be I'm trying not to be I'm not going to give much of a lecture on this, but yes, I'm going to share the things which I follow personally, and in certain years of professional experience, I have understood and realized the importance of certain few pointers which I adopt in my life. Firstly, to prioritize your time. And when we say prioritizing your time, it is not just the division between home and workplace. It is about doing this, following this at the workplace as well. That is holistic there. You may be having a list of 50 to-do list, tasks on it, but we need to prioritize those tasks into 4 categories. I'm sure all of us have at one point or the other, we have come across that Google and internet-based 2x2 matrix, which says that you have to categorize your work or the activities into urgent and important, urgent and not important, not urgent and important, and there are certain which are not at all urgent and not at all important. In that case, we have to slowly develop the habit of prioritizing our work, to take it up, either delegate, either to just delay it off, or in fact just eliminate if it is not required at all. Secondly, establishing a routine. Here I'll say that pandemic or no pandemic, to avoid this burnout, which I was referring to earlier, there is an unnecessary stress. Defining our work boundaries is essential. In absence of a routine, we do not know where to start and where to stop. We are starting anytime and we are ending anytime. And what's happening in the end is that we end up working all the time. So follow a routine. This gives a sense of control as well. And in between, it is very important to take proper meals. And it becomes at hard, does become hard at times to take that break at home because we have not defined that boundary. But that required level of calories is definitely, it's needed to keep that machine, which is our body, to keep that machine fueled and oiled, to keep it going without lethargy. And also with a routine, it also is important for the team, your colleagues, your co-workers, to know exactly when you are available and when you are not available. That helps them also not interfering in your personal space. And it is not just about a family time. It can be me time as well. There are times we do not want to sit with the partner. We do not want to sit with the kids as well. We feel like sitting totally alone all to ourselves. This is also a possibility. So with a routine, the team also gains certain level of help. So, and then, yes, I'll reemphasize here that working harder is important, but smarter also. The pandemic has given us a boom of technology. So use this technology for time management practices. There are apps, there are programs, there are so many things available out there. Use this, WhatsApp window or chatting windows for voice messages rather than typing. It saves a lot of time. We can always make group calls to save time. We can have, again, we can use technology to become more organized, to stay more organized, grouping emails, etc. Just a classic example of that. And moreover, avoiding procrastination at all costs, because this just adds to the already the problem which is at hand. Then communicating your need. Now, this aspect is very important. What is happening? Your boss or your supervisor is not able to see you're having a hard time managing the tasks, and your family might not know that you're having a hard time managing that project at hand. So, both ways, you are kind of having that mental stress. So, be open and communicate with them both ways. If required, over communicate so that both the sides are aware of the responsibilities. Both the sides have, they have to understand that there are certain level of responsibilities at home, there are certain of responsibilities at the project end. Another thing is learning to say no. I can understand that it's going to be difficult, it is really tough in the beginning, yes, definitely, but we have to be polite, but have to put out our point across very firmly. And I'm sure in such kind of a scenario, everyone understands this these days. Then, coming to a very important point, we have to limit our use of social media. And if it is a really an integral part of our work, then also only specific time has to be allocated being on the social media. When you pick up your phone, and no, you have to, I mean, we all of us have to get rid of the tendency where we keep on peeping into our phones. That fear of FOMO, fear of missing out is always there. So we have to get rid of that habit as well. Then making plans for your after work hours. Again, like I mentioned, there has to be a me time. We can always pick up a hobby. It could be bird watching, it could be cloud watching, it could be indulging with the colors, it could be listening to music, maybe taking a walk, maybe taking a stroll, or just lazing around. Whatever calms your mind and gives break from the monotony, basically. And finding those moments of stillness, it's very, very important. Now there is an advantage of these days working from home. Now nobody is watching, so we can always for some part of the time or a minute or so, we can always close our eyes, have that moment of stillness and gather ourselves once again, and we can have it does help in generating a new perspective and generate new ideas. And lastly, I would say that be kind to yourself, and we have to come out of the I don't have time for myself tendency. I do not have time for self care. I do not have time to worry about myself, especially the women. There is always a time. I would always say, I always stick to this. There is always a time. There are always choices. It is just a matter of priorities. So yeah, that's I mean that's something which these are the things which I follow. Dr. Pratibha, back to you. This was from my side. This is something I follow and I believe in, basically. Dr. Pratibha.
Thank you, Dr. Preeti, for the valuable information. Doctor, you have very well explained about this environment, time management, and you have very well explained about how to make time for yourself and how to manage. And so I have a question to you. Nowadays, the children are doing online class. So some parents are working from home and children also home and office together, and some may have to sit with the children. So how they can balance their work life and with children and with the family and like other family members. So how can they manage their time and environment, and because they have to concentrate in their work and same time they have to concentrate their child also.
Yes, as I said, I mean, you're talking about a situation where the working parents are there and children are also studying at the same time,
Yes.
right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
again, as I said, we have to prioritize our work and divide the portion accordingly. And there will be a time of overlap as well, which is unavoidable. But yes, after the work, there has to be a certain portion of the time which has to be dedicated to the children. And as I already mentioned, that there has to be a time component which has to be dedicated to ourselves also. And I'm sure when I finish this session, there is going to be another session by Guruji, who's going to talk about how to love yourself, how to take care of yourself. Am I right? So
Yes.
I think she's going to talk in more detail about that. But yes, what I want to emphasize here is that time allocation is really very, very important, because as I mentioned, the sandwich generation who are tending to the childcare and taking care of the elderly also in the same house and at the same time working, especially the women, they are having a hard time. So again, I'll again mention that 2x2 matrix. We have to accordingly divide our work. We have to make a to-do, planning the day well in advance in the morning. We have to schedule things in the morning. Once we are prepared, we are ready with a to-do list or a checklist or something. When we when you take out or strike out a task or something on a piece of paper, and trust me, it is very fulfilling. I've tried it. I do recommend it to many people. Make a list with pen and paper, strike it out. When it is done, it's so fulfilling to see the work getting done. Those tick marks really help. So here I'm trying to say is that we have to divide our list, the entire to-do list, into important, urgent, not important, not urgent, that kind of things. If they are not important, they are urgent, you have to delegate it to others, maybe your co-workers or something. If it is not at all important and not urgent also, you can simply eliminate those activities. And if they are urgent and important to be done by you, you have to do it right away. And if they are not important, if they're not urgent but they're important, we can always schedule them in a way for some time. So that's how that balance has to come only with time management, and that comes with a lot of, you have to have that willpower of. And yes, and another critical component here is learning to say no. We have to be very clear with the supervisors or maybe the co-workers, or tell them very clearly, firmly but politely, that this is my time, this is my child's time, this is my family time, I cannot go beyond that. So yes, that's communication. Like I said, over communication is also not wrong these days. So communication is a key, time management is another key. So yes, this is I would say on that question of yours. I hope I made some point. I made it clear.
Yes, Doctor, what you said is very clear, because some people won't communicate because of the fear of losing job. So they suppress their emotion and they go into more and more tension. They hold all the tension inside them.
Yeah, and, like I said, the bosses do not, like I said earlier, the bosses do not know that the family has a problem. Now the family doesn't know that you are having a hard time at the work. There is a project which needs your critical attention. So both ways, the worker is the one who's suffering here. Correct. So there, that communication takes up a very important role. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. In yoga, we say Adi leads to Vyadi. Adi means stress. Stress leads to disease. So by suppressing the emotions inside, they are creating their own illness. So this is really great, Doctor, sharing your knowledge to everyone. And some of our friends will be watching this video from the office. So this is the time for them to leave their office and come home and relax. So thank you, Doctor, for sharing your great information.
Thank you
Before
so much.
concluding, is there any message for our viewers?
Yes, Dr. Pratibha, what I'll just re-emphasize what I said just now, that, you know, first thing and a very important thing and a very soothing thing is that we have to remind ourselves that the pandemic is not going to last forever, you know. And while not everything will go back to the normal, there are certain things which will go back to the normal. So take another deep breath, consider the perks of your life, cherish every moment. You have to cherish the life we are living and leading now. You have to cherish it. We just don't need that, you know, the work-life balance kind of the concept. It is not just on papers. To feel good, we need work-life balance to do good as well. I mean, only and when I'm saying good, when I'm saying do good, we are referring to the terms like using the brain power, the creativity, the decision making, the problem solving to be a good leader, to be a better team player, or a parent, or a good partner also. So work life balance is not a nice thing to have. It is, in fact, one of the most critical and the essential things to have, especially for the working professionals. That's all from my side, Dr. Pratibha. Thank you so much for having me here. And thanking Mr. Ramshad Ahmed for the invite and giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts with the fraternity, the yoga fraternity here tonight. And that's it from my side. Thank you so much once again. Namaskar.
Thank you, Doctor, for the very informative speech, and hope this will, so many people can implement this knowledge in their day-to-day life and make their life more prosperous and cheerful. Before going to this, I like to inform about our yoga challenge. From June 16th to 20th, we are going to hold a yoga challenge. That's a 5-day yoga challenge. You can post a 2 minutes yoga asanas on our Facebook page and Instagram page, Prana, and tag us hashtag Prana IYD and post with more number of likes, which then post with more number of likes will be chosen on the final day to join us live. The person who has got more number of likes can join us on the final day. Please share your yoga challenge poster in our Prana page and Instagram, Facebook and Instagram page. So now it's time to introduce our guru. Today, our topic for yoga is stay in love. You have to love yourself first. You should understand about yourself. So I welcome our guru, Guru Adi Ananda Parashakti. She's a holistic spiritual life coach and tantra therapist. Tantra therapist for couples with more than 20 years of experience in the traditional art of awareness like prana, meditation, and tantra yoga. Tantra yoga is which is not known to many of the people. So this will be a great information for everyone. She's trained in many fields of human knowledge. She became a Shivananda yoga instructor, deepening her studies in mantras, mudras, kriyas, and kundalini yoga. The energy flow experience made her dig more and more, so that expanded her study in the field. She is a Reiki master and specialist in different healing techniques like Shamyanam, Access Bar, Theta healing, among the few. Her mission is to help students, single couples, and families to integrate the traditional teaching into daily life, improve the level of awareness, health, and happiness. She strongly believes that she can teach only what she has experienced. Only in this way can the transmission be effective and authentic. She is a great spiritual guru who has experienced, and what her experience she is going to share with us. Please stay tuned and feel the energy flow within yourself and spread the happiness and energy to the people around you. Welcome, Guru Aditi Ananda Parashakti. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you for inviting me to this project. Thank you for all the work you are doing to spread light, awareness, and love. Thank you so much. Mostly in this period where humanity is facing one of the biggest challenge ever. And I am really happy that the light key, the flame of light and awareness keep tuned. And yeah, we are using the technology to get the home of people and to bring the messages. Yeah, so thank you for the introduction about me. It was really rich and precise. I am really happy. And I've been invited to focus my speech and my experience more than on yoga and meditation, on the holistic approach I have been creating so far. A holistic approach do mean whatever the doctor shared before. So to be able to balance all aspects of life, this is absolutely part of the holistic approach, is fundamental. But my holistic approach, but the part of holistic approach I want to share with you tonight is about integrating your life and your practice, your sadhana, your daily practice, some different tools coming from different traditions. Give value to the tradition and the knowledge humanity was carrying on in different places of the planet. I have been starting with Zen Buddhism, so with a deep meditation, 8 hours a day, mantras under the waterfalls to don't feel the cold, so really strict, and Shiva, so masculine-centered approach. And then I needed to, this was helping. I mean, it was amazing because it helped me to connect with my mind and to slow down my thought, Chitravitti Nirodha, so to extend the time between one thought and the second one to be more in the present, in the here and now. But this was missing a little bit about body connection, and being a woman, be more Shakti and fluidity. So we have this waterish energy. I needed to connect more with the body. So I started with yoga. I became Shivananda instructor, Shivananda Yoga. And this was amazing because already there, Master Shivananda is giving a lot of different ways. It calls the 8 ways of yoga. It speaks about karma, about vibration, mantras, mudra, kriyas. It was amazing. But still something was like me. I could see that I needed something more or better. This was more than enough, but for my understanding, my little microcosmos, I needed other way to say the same things, other messages, other way of communication. That's why I was getting more in connection with something which is called Tantra Yoga and shamanism. So the traditional knowledge coming from the South American tribe, these people which is really in connection with the forest, the animals, also Africans. Shamanism is a way to connect within yourself, with the wildness, with this little part, this spark of God, this little child. You can call this part of you in many different ways. And this part is the part which is carrying your life purpose, your mission, what you actually really are. And when we are little boys and girls, we know somehow this. If you see 3 years old, 4, 5 years old kids are really wild. I mean, they do whatever they feel they need to. And thanks education, thanks family, we educate them. It is good. So we give them some containers to be able to stay in society. That is something which is absolutely necessary. But together with these containers, so this education, this way to properly behave, otherwise society would be not possible. So thank you for this. But on the other side, sometimes, somehow, those education and society structure are making us in a cage. So are teaching to this young, pure soul, to this inner wild nature, that there is a judgment, there are fears, there are shame, guilt. And if in the sight of light, these characteristics are containing you and making you behave properly, in the other side, the shade side of those, they are limiting you. They are limiting me, they are limiting everyone to express your real nature. And this is not something so philosophical. It's just really easy. Sometimes I don't say something I would because I'm scared. Sometimes I cannot sleep the night because I feel guilty. Sometimes I don't do something because I feel ashamed. And when it's a little things, it's one story. When this starts to be in many aspects of the life, and after years, experience after experience, it grows. It creates kind of a new software, which is done from your karma, if you believe in karma, so previous lives, or just starting from this life, from the previous experiences you have done. And then you end up not acting, but reacting. So you end up behaving in a way you are not really happy to, or doing things that you are not really happy to. You would like to change, but somehow you are stuck. You cannot do. So shamanism and tantra yoga, in the way I do teach it, I have been learning it, it's just about this. So using, of course, all tools coming from yoga and meditation. So you should be present to see all what is happening of subconscious. So meditation, all focus techniques like pranayama to center and rise up the level of your inner vibration and energy, the kriyas, so the technique to purify your body energetically, mentally and physically, the asana, the position to let your body flow. But there are also many other tools and techniques which are somehow belonging to yoga, because yoga takes everything in, but are like adapted and shaped in to a different world, different vehicles, different direction for the energy in the shamanic healing in the tantra. So the main mission of shamanic healing and the tantra I do teach is to help you, to give you tools to remove these blockages, to free up, to get out from the pattern of life and the previous experience, which were too big for you, they were overwhelming you, and you end up to react in a certain way, and now you don't want to do this anymore, with your kids, with your husband, with yourself. The doctor before was speaking about this behavior, because you create behavior that are for you the reality. Actually, it's your way to create, to see the reality. Like, I have no time for myself, which is true if you do believe that. You will not find the time for yourself. But some people that normally are judged like selfish, they do have always time for themselves. So how we can figure it out, no? So who has time for himself, we can be judged egoistic and egocentric, and who has no time for themselves, they will end up to be exhausted. And what I tell always to my students is you can give love only if you have something to give. So if you push to yourself so much that you get exhausted, then it's really difficult for you be lovely person, a given person, so to give love if you are nothing to give, right? So as the doctor said before, to create this container, to give yourself space to grow your energy, to clean your stress is the aim of shamanism and tantra, and this mostly in the couple, because in my vision of life, the couple is a little universe, is the best field of evolution for a soul, because I can be Buddha, let's say, if I am with myself alone, with anyone around, but be Buddha, no, but let's say super peaceful and present person when you are in relationship, and the husband, kids, and colleagues is much more tricky, no? So into the relationship that you can train much more your ability to control, but not to control in the sense to manipulate, but to don't be manipulated, to act and not to react, to stop these automatic reaction tools which are done from the previous experiences. And yeah, so what I would like to introduce you tonight are little techniques which are just a taste of what you can explore, how you can see from different light Tantra and shamanism and yoga tools to use them, to serve them, to use them for serve you, your purpose, to be more free and awakened. And yeah, so what I am going to propose, to suggest to do together, to invite you to do together, is about, part of that is sitting, and then I will ask you to stand. So if you need to make space around yourself, I will invite you to do that. And then I will invite you to just close your eyes and to get one hand on your arm and one on your belly. And to do what I do call one natural observation of the breath flow. So it's an exercise where you do not do anything, but you just stay. You just watch your body breathing, so that you start to connect, to create the connection with what I call, what in spirituality is called the external observator. So it's a part of you which is out of the drama of life, is there, is part of you. It's not involved in the drama, in the situations. It's always peaceful, it's always clear and transparent in his vision. This is something you can grow and connect with every time you do your sadhana, your daily practice, and you can reach the silence. So breathing, I will invite you to ask yourself, where do I am breathing now? In my chest or in my belly? Is my breath short or long? I am breathing fast or slow? How does it feel like for me be here, watching my body breathing for me? The body is breathing for me since the first moment I arrived on this planet. The breath is the most powerful instrument I do have to control, to manage my body, my emotions. If I breathe slow and deep, I'm going to calm down my mind, to reduce the production of hormones which make me stress. I'm going to be able to focus, to relax, to be more lovely, to love me. From this practice, I would like to invite you to just go in the next one. The next practice is a connection, if you like, of two important techniques which are called, I will introduce in the pranayama, so the breathing technique. Also, Sanskrit is called mudra. I am not
interrupting in the middle, Guru, because the mantra what you are telling, it's not so audible or clear. If you talk a little loudly, it will be a little more audible. Okay.
More out. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So the invitation for you is now to place your hands in this position and to switch the finger, which is creating the ring, so the connection. Every time you exhale. When you move your hands, you are going to move the hands with the ring always in the direction you are going. So if you go up, this hand will be like this. If you go down, it will be like this. So we start to introduce the movement in connection with the breath. which is one of the base of shamanism and tantra yoga, as I normally teach it. Okay, so the invitation is to start with the first finger, to place one hand up, one down. And when you inhale, you will switch the position of the hand and you will change the finger. The invitation now is to control your breath. To inhale deeply. And to exhale with the mouth so deeply. Inhale with the nose and exhale with your mouth. Inhale so that you can feel your body full and strong. So you are in your yang, your masculine energy. And exhale that you feel surrendering. Inhale, completely feel full and strong. And exhale, surrender. In and in and out. With the next exhale, I will invite you to pronounce the mantra AH. The vibration which is generated from this mantra is making you start to exhale from your belly, from your pelvis area, which is the home of Kundalini. Kundalini. Now you can stop with the mudra movement and focus on your belly and the vibration you generate when you exhale, vibrating this mantra. And try to don't exhale with the throat, not with the chest, but with the belly. So give a pressure there, because in shamanism and tantra, you want to connect with your pelvic area. You want to free them up. So we can inhale deeply. Exhale as long and slow you can. Inhale, take the energy, and then a couple of times more. This is called the 2-time breath with the sound. What you can also do to activate your Kundalini, to release some trauma and blockage, mostly in your hara, so in your belly area, in the soft part under the bones above the hips, is to stimulate this part with a shaking. So when we are going to exhale, we just make our hand shake, and the same with the other hand in the place in the back. This is an easy practice to start to taste the freedom you can create yourself. So we can inhale deeply, keep the hands in the belly, in the back. And when we exhale, just shake. Your sound will be like that. It means you are practicing right. A couple of times more. And again, inhale deeply. So full that no more air can stay in your lungs. And exhale with the mouth as long and slow you can. Last time. Inhale deeply. And the next practice I want to invite you is standing. It's gonna be connected with the breath technique we have done, so the 2-time breath, the full inhale and the full exhale. with the movement of the hips. So in a shamanic healing and Tantra, we recognize this place as a home of the Hara energy, the Kundalini, the life energy, the sexual energy, which being a taboo for society is always stuck, and we feel guilty, we feel ashamed to move this area. So women can have problem to give birth, and men can have just big back pain because they cannot move the hips anymore because traumas stuck in this area, the pelvis, the inner organs. This technique is about to bend your legs just a little bit, like to move your hips the while you are breathing. So you can inhale deeply, and when you inhale, you go forward with your hips, and when you exhale, you go backward. And you keep breathing like before, but fast. It's called fire breath. For who practice Kundalini yoga, it's quite famous. So inhale with the nose, and you exhale with the mouth. And you coordinate this breath with your hips movement, just to free up this area a little bit. So you can inhale, in, back, exhale, forward. I will suggest to do no more than 30 times for the beginning. You can connect with this breath, also shaking. In Kriya Yoga and Kundalini, you used to shake the body to free up, like dogs do when they are touched. If you touch a dog, it's easy that the dog after will shake, because to remove whatever is stuck in him. So to shake, the suggestion is to bend one leg after the other, or both legs together. So we keep doing the breathing we have done with the shaking. You can shake your arms also, so that you can create activation in your system. In, out, in with the nose, out with the mouth. When you are okay with the breathing, you can just tap yourself. So you start from your belly. You go on the inner side of your legs, the outer side, and you tap your body. Not too strong, but not too light as well. Your chest, your back. And you will feel, without I have to tell you, the activation is given with this movement. And we can repeat another time the same circle. So we can start with the hips. In with the nose, out with the mouth. Go to the shaking. And tap. Your chest, your arm, your head, and stay. In this moment, you might feel some tickling movement, some energy in your hands, maybe in your arms, your legs. This is one example of a possible way of activation of your Kundalini, your inner energy. In Tantra, is a little experience of what we call the full body pressure, the cosmic union. You can get the same feeling even without sitting in meditation, like Tibetan monks do. Divine ecstasy. But you can also help yourself first. With this technique, I just been showing you so far. Just few breaths more. Feel the energy. And namaste for being with me along this practice.
Thank you, Guru, for this amazing knowledge. We felt the cosmic energy transfer from you to us. It was really blissful. There are so many questions waiting for you, but due to the lack of time, we want to invite you once again to share your great knowledge, because it's really vast subject. We want to know more and more about you, but due to the time limit, it's time to wind up. So Thank you, Guru, once again for this great knowledge and this energy transfer. And this is very new knowledge for most of us. So now it's time to invite our facilitation guru, our guest, Jitendra Vaidyam. He's the president of Indian, he's the IPF president. His education is Masters in Business Management. By profession, he is the CEO of Prime for Inspection, LLC. From very young age, he is very active in community activities. For the last 24 years, he is in UAE and since then very active in community activities, especially among NRIs. Welcome, Mr. Jitendra ji. Please have some words with us with pranam.
Shri Ramshad Ahmed ji, Guru Miss Adi Ananda ji, our guest of honor, Dr. Preeti, Dr. Pratibha ji, Shri Vipin ji, Ramnathan ji, Satish ji, and all the yoga premi. Namaste, everyone. I wish to begin with the dhanyavad to all my friends from Prana for giving this opportunity to represent Indian People's Forum and attend today's event. Prana by name defines life, and yoga by art supports a healthy life. Thanks to the vision and efforts of our beloved Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, today yoga has got the much deserved recognition by UN with a vote of 177 member countries, and we together are celebrating International Yoga Day. It is a great and a noble deed from Prana in organizing events in a celebration of a Yoga International Day. With the impact of a COVID and the healthcare, every person talks of a boosting immunity. What better way than yoga? Today, life has made people around the world believe in the Indian culture, from Namaste to the way we design our eating habits. The skills of yoga has helped people build their physical, mental, and spiritual health system. International Yoga Day celebration is an opportunity for all of us to spread the benefits of yoga beyond the shores of India. IPF has in the past done events supporting these initiatives, and we are always happy to be associated with the Prana to make yoga a part of life in every human being. Thanks once again, everyone. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you, Jitendra ji, for your great words and for your support for this yoga International Yoga Day celebration. And I like to inform tomorrow there will be Prana celebration at 7:30 a.m. with new topic, Life with Yoga. Before that, once again, I like to inform you there will be a yoga challenge from June 16th to 20th June, a 5 days yoga challenge. You can post your posters, yoga posters, 2 minutes video in our Facebook and Instagram page. And whoever is getting more number of likes and likes will be chosen as yogi, and we will be they will be coming live with us on June 21st for International Yoga Day celebration. Stay tuned. Before we will end up the session with Shanti Mantra. Please join Suraj for the Shanti Mantra.
Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bad Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let all be happy. Let all be healthy. Let all see the good in others and let no one suffer from unhappiness. Om peace. Namaste.